Applying transitions is easy, but using a transition to help you tell your story is more of an art. Since we have two clips next to each other, we can apply the same transition to both clips. I'll drag the barn door transition onto the middle of the edit point between these two clips. Let's preview that, and as you watch it, ask yourself how this transition supports or detracts from our story. In this movie, we're going to explore. What did you think? When I see a barn door transition, it gives me the impression that one scene is opening up into another. For these two clips, the barn door doesn't feel quite right. To quickly preview what another transition would look like, click on the transition to select it. Then use the selection handles on your playhead to drag a selection around the transition and include a few frames from the clips on the incoming and outgoing side of the transition. Then open your Properties Inspector. Since you selected the transition before making the selection, the Properties Inspector will let you change what transition is being applied. The transitions are all grouped by type. You have the fades, the movement transitions, the object, stylized, and the wipes. I'll try the circle reveal transition. Since you have a selection of a clip, you can press the spacebar to preview the selected region of the timeline. This is a great way to see how a transition may fit into your story. In this movie, the circle reveal gives the impression that new information is being revealed to the user, and that doesn't quite fit with this point in our story. I'll try the simple fade transition. Then press the spacebar to preview it. In this movie, for these clips, I think the fade transition feels right. When you find the transition that you like, double-click the playhead to deactivate the selection. You may need to adjust the timing as well. I'll make this transition happen a little bit faster. Now that we have the visual transitions working pretty good for us, let's play it back one more time, but this time, listen closely to the audio. In this movie, Did you hear how the music from the intro clip seemed to end abruptly? With our edit, we didn't let the music ring out completely. You may remember that it tends to sound more natural at the end of a movie to let the audio finish ringing out. This scene change in the middle of our movie has that same feel, but since we have these two clips right next to each other, we can't make a trim edit. So here's a trick. Move the incoming clip up to track 2 to change it to a higher layer, but don't shift its position in time. Now, anything below this layer will be obscured by the clip. Now, make your trim edit on the outgoing clip and drag it out until the music finishes ringing out. The transition we apply to the top clip will still fade that clip up to 100% opacity, retaining the look of a crossfade. Let's play that back and listen to how it sounds. In this movie, we're going to explore working with tabs. And before we wrap up, I have one more Transitions Power User tip for you. Go up to your Camtasia Preferences, and in the Timeline tab, change the default transition duration to 0.5 or half a second. Then drag a selection around all of the halo clips, and drag a fade transition into the middle of one of those selected clips. This will automatically apply a quick 15-frame fade to the beginning and end of all of the selected clips, making each callout smoothly appear and disappear on screen.